probably get a fan.
You should probably get a fan. Hey, the other day on TikTok, I took one of these damaged box fans or window fan, whatever you want to call it, and I turned it into a ceiling fan. I was taking it apart and I was going to just fix it, but then I'm like, you know, I might want to do a ceiling fan. And it worked surprisingly well. So I wanted to make another one to go in front of my heater to kind of blow the heat down in the wintertime, but I don't have a damaged box fan. Now that we have a damaged fan, let's get this bad boy apart. Now that we got that off, there's just 4 mounting screws here. We're kind of, the cord's running up this channel with some hot glue in it. Well, let's just pop these guys out. These we want to save. And then just pull this little knob off here. Then there's just a little pressure fit into sheet metal tabs here. Put that potentiometer through. And you have your fan unit. All right, so now we got to come up with is a way to basically mount this with these 4 mounting holes in kind of a plate system to get a vertical support coming off of here. So I cut these pieces, which I figured I didn't need to show you guys that. I've shown you guys that stuff before. Cut, bang, bang. Sand. Actually, the only thing worth noting, I suppose, is this piece. This gets mounted to the ceiling, and I wanted a singular attachment point. But with a ceiling fan, there's no torque to this, but I just didn't want anything of this turning. So I took a brad nail and pre-drilled for that and just kind of sunk a brad nail in there. That way when it gets mounted, it pokes into the drywall and prevents it from spinning, kind of 2 contact points. Belt and suspenders approach, but that's kind of how I roll. Now that I have that piece in the ceiling or whatever, and it's not going to go twisting on me, I got to concentrate on getting this fan motor mounted. And I just had some pieces here. These are hard maple. In case you're working with like a softer wood, you might want to beef up your material here. But I just had a couple pieces to bridge those 4 mounting screw holes. And I was just going to transfer locations here, and I was just going to use a little bit of black paint. And I'm actually going to put it on the front side because I'm going to counterbore these, and I'll show you that in a second. But just want to transfer those marks so I know exactly where to counterbore. All right, now I just want to counterbore these guys, which I'm centering it in the... Don't want to go too far, but I'm just kind of eyeballing it as far as the depth. Then I also am drilling a through hole. If you guys aren't familiar with what a counterbore is, you just a larger diameter hole, because the screws that came with this were going, like I said, through the sheet metal, and I just want that to be able to use those already, existing screws, so that counterbore helps out a lot. And I don't like an impact in this case because I kind of want to. I didn't like that impact on there, but all right. Actually, hand tightening these because it was just plastic on there. And so here's my piece. Get a good look. You see, like I said, 3/4 inch in there, pre-drilled for this. Again, hard maple, 1.5 inches tall because it was 2 3/4 inch laminations. There's actually a seam in there. I don't know if you guys can see that, and the idea is to bridge the gap here. Throw one of these guys in here. And let me pick an appropriate size screw. All right, now that I tighten those up there, and I found some screws that I think are going to be the right length. And I'm not necessarily encouraging you guys to go out and go bust some fans and all that stuff. I legit had a broken one to start, but it worked so good that I figured I'd put one in front of my ceiling heater. That way it can keep some of that coming down and all that jazz. Probably save me money in the long run. I looked online. These are about $30 online. I'll leave a link down below if anyone's interested. I know you can get them probably a little bit cheaper local. But I know once or twice a year, a lot of the big box stores, they're like spring cleanup sales. I've seen them go as low as like 12, 13, 14 bucks on these. So if that's your prerogative, I was mostly thinking about trying to save money with the circulating heat and everything. A lot of cold, dense metal surfaces in here. Cool. Now that I have that mounted on there, I had a little countersunk spot here for a screw. That way I can get my dowel attached on there. I guess we should call it a down tube in ceiling fan speak. But either way, we're pretty much ready. Alrighty. And then just slide her up into that one socket that we mounted to the ceiling earlier. And a little screw from the side. Oh, not gonna go there, but either way, we're gonna secure that cable and see what we can't come up with. All right, so I secured the cable out of the way, and then I'm gonna use an extension cord with one of these little switch on off plug-in things. You could rewire it and get that potentiometer down. I had individual wires. I didn't have any ribbon cable, and I didn't really want to go through the hassle. Medium kind of seemed to do the trick. Speaking of wiring, before you go saying you're an electrician and your great-great-grandpa invented lightning, let's just consider this for entertainment purposes only. All right, I just rigged it right quick on my one of my vacuum little remote thingies, so let's give her a shot.